So today we're going to paint poppies, just like these. And they're California poppies. And these are the four colors I'm going to be using. A lighter green and darker green. This is Apple Orchard and Thicket. And then pure orange and school bus yellow. And that's it. So it's a pretty inexpensive one to do if you're going to be buying paint. And pure orange is one I have around all the time. School bus yellow as well. I use it in a lot of things. I'm trying to find my number 12 flat. And I'm using a number 12 flat brush. And this is the one stroke. It comes in the multi-pack that I share with you or have a link to on the blog for to purchase. And then let's see, I'm going to get my palette loaded up and come back, and I'm going to show you how to paint a few poppies. In case I haven't mentioned this before, when I'm doing acrylic painting, I always dampen my brush first, and that way it takes longer for the paint to dry in it. And then I just wipe it off on a towel. I'll show you over here. I've got a t-shirt underneath here, and I just dry it off. So the brush is still damp inside, and I'm going to double load my brush with the orange and the yellow. School bus yellow and pure orange is the colors, and I'm just going to kind of draw my shape. Let me see if I can get up over it so I can see what I'm doing. And it's a basic, upside down triangle, and it's going to come down to a point, so I can make it a little wider. That's just to give me kind of some guidelines. I will include a pattern so that you can just draw on a pattern if you're not comfortable just going from a shape. I'm going to put some floating medium on my palette because I'm on paper and I've got it hot again in here today. My heater just worked well, and it's like 82 degrees in here. So my paint's going to dry fast. I'm going to try to get close up for you. Bear with me. And first I'm going to do the back petals. This is going to be in a couple layers. And there's a couple ways I can do this. Let's just do the easiest one. I come up and I'm just going to kind of make a ruffly back petal. If you want to make it darker, go back over it again and come down. I'm going to take the orange side and I'm going to fill in down here with just orange. So I'm just using the corner of my brush, dragging the orange down like that. So that is filled in with the orange. Now I'm going to come and I'm going to do, whoops, I loaded the wrong color on the wrong side of my brush. Let me redo that. I'm going to do like the top petals, and I'm going to come up from the same, following the same edge, come around, and then come down. Now you can let the bottom layer dry a little bit, and then you'll get better contrast because you're not going to be blending as much. And then just fill in. And there is a basic poppy. Now we're going to do one with some flared or like back petals that are kind of pointing outwards. Let's see, let me move my thing over. I'm going to do the same basic shape. And then we can have it tilting a little bit, maybe like it's blowing in the wind. So I'm doing basic shape there, coming down to a point. And we're going to go start at the top, and you're going to kind of go like this, make a scoop stroke. I kind of went outside my lines there too far. And this one, I'm going to do it this way. It's kind of hard for me to do it backwards like this because I'm so far from the thing, trying to work around the camera. But you get the general idea. So that's going to come in like that. And then I'm going to do the center part. Same as the first one, you're just kind of wiggling along and you're going to bring it down. And then fill in with your orange. If you need to dip some more on your orange side. Fill it in very well. And I'll let that dry just a moment while I do another one. Let's see, where could we do this one? We could do this one over here. Another just shape. This one is going to have kind of a, maybe a flare off. Okay, I found my picture, so now I'm going to do this little odd like petal that's kind of split off, and I'm going to start at the base on the chisel edge, and I'm going to streak up, and I'm just going to wiggle, 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 and pull it back down. And I'll just blend in that part that kind of got jagged. Now if I wanted, I could make it a little wider down here, but this will work. And now I'm going to go and do the regular middle part. Now this, you just want to make sure it's not longer than that, or it would look off like it's really way out there. You notice I'm really spreading my brush and just pressing that paint on there. And again, I'm going to fill in with the orange. Now on the paper, it drags a little bit more than you would on a painted surface. If you're doing this on a canvas or that's been gessoed, or on maybe a wood bench. I think a wood bench painted with these would be really pretty. Sorry, I kind of got it off center there, but now we've got it back in the center, and my paint is drying on my palette pretty quick. I'm dipping into some floating medium. Now here's the one that we did, and we were letting the center or the base coat dry. And now I'm going to come and I'm going to do the second layer on the center. I'm coming up and I'm just filling in. You notice the yellow is against that bit of orange, so it shows contrast. And you notice I didn't go all the way to the back edges. That's because I'm going to come along here to these sides, and I'm going to once again come and make that scoop stroke. And I'm going to make it scoop along there as if that is where the petal is. It's still a little wet, so it's not providing the contrast I want it to, but it will. Yeah, there we go. So I could let that dry right there so I can get better contrast, and then that is like some more petals. Whoops, see, I just made a big mess. Big, yeah, see there I got the contrast. And you can have it have a little point if you want. And there you have another type of poppy. Now we'll go back over to this one, and we'll just do now some of them, if I would have come down further, I guess I can show you rather than telling you. See, that one makes it look like that has just a petal that's flaring out. You can also do it where it looks like it's coming forward towards you, opening towards you, and then it has some little center pieces. Let me see if I can do this. And it doesn't have to be then so much the chalice shape. You can even do it a little bit rounder. But I'm just going to kind of do this quickly. And I'm just going to fill in because and when it's wet, the paint will kind of blend well, better than if it's not wet. I'm going to get it just a touch of water on my brush because it's really dry. Oh yes, I was going to show you that if I do this lower, can actually do some little chisel strokes up from there, because if you look in the middle, there's these little spikes where the bees land. And I might have to let it dry and do more with a liner brush. And see, that's a little narrow for one of those. It's more open. So I need to go in. It's good to step back and take a good look at it. And make it a bit wider. Have it flare more out here. And play with it. You may be surprised. Let it dry, look at it. You can see what you need to add. I'm going to move this around so I have a good, let me move your camera out. I have a good way of looking at it, so to speak. So you notice how that widened it a little bit, so it's more of an open poppy. Now I'm going to get some of the greens on my palette, and I will show you how to put on the stems. All right, I have the two colors on my palette, and I'm just going to start with the darker green, and I'm not going to, well, I shouldn't say start. I'm going to put some darker green on my brush, a little bit of lighter green. I'm not double loading it where one's on one side, one's on the other, because it doesn't work for this first part that I'm doing. And I'm just going to touch at the base of the flower. Touch at the base. This one's a little bit narrower, so I'm going to be much lighter, so it's not as wide. And this one. And then this one. And then I'm going to come in with my chisel edge, and I'm going to make like a triangle shape. And I'm going to drag my brush through and drag it down to make a stem. And the same with this little triangle shape, upside down triangle. Drag my brush on the chisel edge, drag it down for a stem. One more, and this one, little triangle shape, fill it in, stroke, stroke, stroke. And this one's like kind of a curve, so it'll come down and meet that one. And then same here. And chisel edge down. Now, for the leaves, I didn't master these at all. I could not find a way to do them that I was really happy with. That's where I dropped the brush, if you're wondering what that splotch is there. So I just dinked around and decided that rather than realism, I just go for an impression of what the leaves. Now they're kind of like in a fan shape. So I just kind of use the chisel edge of my brush, or I'll flick them out, and it's kind of a rounded fan shape. So hopefully the flowers themselves will attract most of the attention, and these little, those are too wide, but you're getting the picture. So it's just kind of a fan shape. They have like little curvy edges, but like I said, I haven't mastered those yet. So I thought with a little liner brush you could do it, but I just thought the ferny look would be enough. And it worked well on the glasses. It wasn't even really noticeable. So one day I'll master it, or I'll see someone who has. And there you have your California poppies. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial.